Hello and welcome. This is a video that demonstrates how we can use the Emerald software to make the report of a TIFA scan, that is the targeted imaging for fetal abnormalities. The objectives of this video are to get familiar with the TIFA template and various abnormalities that are available there as options that you can choose from as relevant to the case. Secondly, we also demonstrate how we can fetch automatically the measurements that are noted by the radiologist on the ultrasound machine when the ultrasound machine is connected over DICOM to this computer. So how we can fetch all the measurements automatically and populate them in the report. The third objective is to demonstrate how to insert fetal growth charts in the report. And lastly, we also demonstrate how to run the uterine artery PI calculator automation. Now, this is a calculator which is hosted by the Fetal Medicina Foundation of Barcelona, and similar methods are available, similar mechanisms are available for running various other calculators, and not only in this TIFA template but also in the other templates as might be relevant. So, with further ado, I go into how to make the actual report. You might be familiar. This is the Emerald screen. This is how it looks like, and basically you find a patient queue, a list of patients, and they're already entered here in this case because here we have assumed that the software is integrated um, with the billing system. So you start with entering certain clinical data for this patient. We make a report for this patient, so I click on the clinical data. This is a second trimester TIFA scan, which is generally done for a gestational age of around, let's say, 20 or 22 weeks or so. And I have already entered the LMP date that leads to a 20 week or 21 weeks of gestation. So with that information, I can proceed to start making the report itself. I select the template and that I'm performing a TIFA scan and not the second trimester anomaly scan. So with that, I have the report page open. So on the right hand side of the screen, you will see the default report. This is the default report where nothing specific has been entered for the patient other than the patient name and some clinical data, which is the LMP and the GA data. There's nothing else that has been entered for this patient. So this is the default all normals report that you see. Quickly go over it. So you find various paragraphs in the report. So paragraph on the fetus itself, then the fetal organs, starting with the skull and the cranium, then the spine, then the face, the chest, and so on. Then finally you come to the fetal biometry and the extended biometry, which is part of the TIFA scan. Then certain growth computations, then the maternal indicators such as the placenta, liquor, the cervix, finally the uterine artery Doppler, and lastly you have the impression paragraphs. These impressions are the standard default impressions at this point, of course, but when you make certain choices or certain abnormalities are noticed and then you make corresponding choices, this will change. And I'll demonstrate how that happens. But this is just to give you an overview of the report, what the report looks like in a default state. On the left hand side, you have all the diagnoses possible, which are grouped under mother and fetus. It's exactly the same paragraph headings that you saw in the report. So if I look at the fetus part, then you will see all the same fetal organs that are listed here, fetal biometry, and the growth computations. And then if I look at the maternal parts, you will see the same maternal related paragraph names, including, for example, uterine fibroids. If you notice any of them, you could make a note of that in the report as well. A quick demonstration of how you can enter certain abnormalities. So let's say you are looking at the fetal skull and cranium, and if everything is normal, this is the text you would see. The bones appear normal, the midline echo is seen, the cavum septum pellucidum is seen, lateral fissure is visualized, and so on. But let's say then you come across a certain abnormality, and what do? So if you click on that, then you get a list of abnormalities here on the left hand side. And now we are looking at the ones for skull and cranium. So these are the various different abnormalities that are there. Yeah. So let's say what you saw was a meningocele, a cranial meningocele. So how do you enter that? So one is you can find it manually here, or you can just type first few letters, and you will see that uh, the relevant diagnosis show up. So here's cranial meningocele. So that is what it is in this case. So I select that, and when I select that, you see that instantaneously in the report the text has changed, and it now says that the fetal cranium shows a bony defect at such and such a location, and the defect measures about something, right? So what do we do now? So you need to do certain you need to enter where the defect is and what is the size of the meningocele. So you enter the location here, uh, that it's at this side, and let's say it is, I don't know, this is just a sample, so don't take the number seriously. Now you see that the sentence is now complete. The fetal cranium shows a bony defect in the parietal region, and the defect measures about 6.7 mm is shown here. But if you go down in the report, you will see that there is a parietal cranial meningocele added to the impression, and there's also a suggestion, which is a fetal MRI is suggested because this abnormality has been noticed. So this is how you note any abnormalities that you come across during the scan, and it need not be only in skull; it can be in any other fetal organ or in the maternal organs, as the case may be. A huge number of abnormalities are listed here in the template, and you can pick and choose the one you want by doing a search here, or even a search here, which is across all the organs. So you can type any diagnosis here, and it can be an abnormality or an anomaly or a condition, a pathology in either the fetus or in the mother, in the maternal side, and immediately the results will be available. So I'll just demonstrate one with, for example, polyhydramnios. So if you see, there is I try to enter polyhydramnios, and the first few letters already brings up the relevant possibilities for me. So let's say I select moderate polyhydramnios, and if you go back in the report, you will see that it's being reflected here. Liquor is moderately increased. That's what polyhydramnios means, and here's the impression added to it as well. There's also a small bit of explanation added to the patient what polyhydramnios might mean in this case, right? So this completes our first objective for the report, which was to demonstrate what are the various abnormalities or pathologies available and how you can select them. Now we move to the next one, which is the DICOM data transfer. So as part of the TIFA scan, there are a huge number of measurements that you would note on the ultrasound machine. Typically, these are the measurements that you would do the fetal biometry, which is the BPD, HC, ACFL, but also the extended biometry, which is several other parameters. So let's say you have done all these measurements, you have noted all these measurements on your ultrasound machine, and then now we want to fetch those measurements directly from the ultrasound machine and update it here in the report. How do we do that? I just click this red button here on the top right, which is the button for entering all the variables. So I click that, and then I see that this is the list of all the measurements, all the variables that I need to fill for the report. And in fact, you can see that all the numbers are already entered. This is because I'm now simulating the situation where all the measurements have been done and they have been saved on the ultrasound. And once that is the case, instantaneously, all those numbers are already entered here in the report. There are a few things that I may have to do manually, but I'll come to that. And if you update any of the measurements, because in certain views, in certain planes, you get a certain measurement, but then you might find a better image in which you're able to get a more accurate or a more detailed measurement. no problem. You can always update your measurements on the ultrasound machine, and each time you update that, they are refetched into the report. Yeah. And if you want to, you can even manually pull the data again by pressing this button called fetch DICOM SR, and all the data is successfully retrieved from the ultrasound machine and updated into the report when you do that. So I click the done button now, and then if you see, all the data is available in the report. I didn't have to type any of these numbers into the report. So these numbers were entered directly on the ultrasound machine, and then they are reflected in the report. Yeah. So this is how we can get the data from the DICOM right into the report directly. This is the second objective of this presentation. The third objective was to demonstrate growth charts. So how do we do that? So we have this calculator icon here. When I click that, I get a list of options here. But the first one is the fetal growth chart. So I click on this black triangle here, the black button, which is the play button. And when I press that, the data, the fetal biometry data that we just fetched over DICOM is used to plot the growth charts according to the Hadlock formula. So let's do that. This takes a second or two, so please bear with me. Yeah. So now the charts must be ready, and they are here. So we have charts for BPD, HC, AC, FL, and finally the EFW. Yeah. And the points that are shown here depict where this particular patient is in with respect to the 5th and the 95th percentile boundaries for this case. Yeah. You can always delete a chart that you're not interested in, or you can delete multiple of them. You can also make any of them bigger or smaller if you wish. So that's how charts are plotted in the report. The last objective of this presentation was to demonstrate how we can actually run a calculator. Before that, let me just complete all the data entry just to be sure. There are certain things that we have to manually select, such as the placenta position, is it fundal, is it anterior, and so on. So I'll just select a default one. The uterine artery PI values have also been obtained over DICOM. So we have all the data now. And let's run the calculator. So again, I click this icon, and there's uterine artery PI, and then there's the auto calculate icon here. So I click on that. So now the data that is required for this uterine artery PI is being sent to the website, to the Fetal Medicine Barcelona website, and the calculations are happening there. Once it is done, the result will be obtained and it will be added to the report, which seems to be about now. So here, if you see, this is a screenshot of what actually happened. We entered the data, the gestational age, and the left and right pulsatility index, and then we calculated the risk, and this is the output from the calculator and the report, and the calculator says it's fine, it's normal. Now if you go back in the report, that's exactly what you will see. We call it screen negative, which means everything is fine. The mean PI is listed here. These were the readings from the Doppler. Yeah. So this completes the demonstration. As mentioned earlier, we got familiar with the TIFA template and abnormalities. We fetched the fetal measurements over DICOM. We inserted the fetal growth charts, and we also ran a calculator. So thank you very much for seeing this video. More videos are constantly being added to our YouTube channel. You can always visit our website and our YouTube channel to get updated about what's happening at EMRX.